This episode was suggested by Full Blood and Staying Fast. Thank you. Another day, another Derby profile. Today's episode is on the other son of American Pharoah, Publisher. Let's go! First up, the stats. And unlike his daddy, he is nowhere near a Derby favorite. In fact, he's the only horse in this field who has never won a race. 0 wins from 7 starts, but 2 seconds and 3 thirds. His earnings total up to $407,756 despite never winning. For major races, after many unsuccessful maiden attempts knocking at the door, he then was 6th in the Southwest Stakes. However, he had a pretty huge excuse as he was completely shut off by American Promise. He was then 4th after a troubled trip in the Rebel Stakes, and then finally got a dream scenario to finish 2nd in the Arkansas Derby. For running style, Publisher started out as more of a mid-pack horse who moves up, but in his more recent races, he has started really taking himself back, sometimes up to 16 lengths behind the leaders, and then rallying. He also really loves a fast pace, capable of coming from way out of it to make up some great ground, especially in the Arkansas Derby, where suicidal fractions were run, and he was able to pick up the pieces to get into the Kentucky Derby starting gates. For strengths, Steve Asmussen knows how to take a long shot and make them run successfully in the Derby. Nero and Lookin' at Lee both had strong performances in defeat in the Arkansas Derby, and then finished 2nd in the Kentucky Derby respectively. So this is exactly in Asmussen's wheelhouse to bring a horse like Publisher and do good. He's also improving. The Arkansas Derby was by far the best race that he's ever ran. Closing and upsets have also just been a common thing in the last few years. Take a look at Rich Strike. If he gets a similar scenario to the Arkansas Derby, he could do some serious damage, and really fly late and pull off some incredible stuff. He's the perfect horse for a pace meltdown. He also has excuses for the worst performances in his career. Besides his many in-the-money showings, his 2 off-the-board performances were after heavy traffic. When he gets a clear trip, he always does good. Now for the weaknesses. There are a lot of closers in this year's Derby that could do the same thing as him, but better. Take a look at Sandman, the horse who beat him in the Arkansas Derby. Sandman is also a deep closer with a lot of great speed, and he likes a pace meltdown. And despite both of them getting the perfect scenario, it was Sandman who won. He even had the chance to dawdle around on the stretch, and he still beat Publisher. Also, no maiden has won or finished better than 8th place since 1933. That's nearly 100 years ago, so history is going to be made if Publisher can finally break that. He's also gotten into traffic trouble in 2 of his last 3 Derby preps. Now, while those do classify as excuses, it also can be a concern, as Publisher needs to find a way to navigate 19 other horses successfully and keep that momentum going. If he gets blocked, bumped badly in the Kentucky Derby, his chances are over. It doesn't matter if he gets the perfect scenario. If he can't navigate his way out of traffic, then his chances are done. He also seems to struggle to pass horses. In earlier races, like when he was running against American Promise, he was closer to the pace and had the chance to run by him the whole stretch, and he just couldn't. Or, even with Sandman, when Sandman had an opening, after drifting late, Publisher still couldn't pass him. He has not felt what it's like to take the lead. He might be just the kind of horse to be a forever bridesmaid, who likes to finish strongly, but doesn't have it in them innately to want to take the lead. Overall, I would say that Publisher is a qualified maiden with a chance at doing something big, but he'd better hope he can outclose all the other horses behind him and get a good scenario. For that, I give Publisher a B- grade. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Derby Profile. Comment on other horses I should cover, and I'll see you guys next time.